Our subject is political and public international law. We are now in part 1. The basic concepts enhance doctrinal discussion with jurisprudence and legal insights 2026 bar coverage. Nature, concept, and interpretation of a constitution. Legal basis, 1987 Constitution, Article 2. Section 1. The Philippines is a democratic and republican state. Sovereignty resides in the people, and all government authority emanates from them. Article 8. Section 1. The judicial power shall be vested in one Supreme Court and in such lower courts as may be established by law. Judicial power includes the duty of the courts of justice to settle actual controversies involving rights which are legally demandable and enforceable, and to determine whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excessive jurisdiction on the part of any branch or instrumentality of the government. Civil Code. Article 8. Judicial decisions applying or interpreting the laws or the Constitution shall form a part of the legal system of the Philippines, or doctrinal discussion. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, the fundamental law that defines the structure of government, limits powers, and guarantees rights. Supremacy Clause. All laws, rules, and acts derive validity from it. Any inconsistent law is void. That is in the case of Francisco versus House of Representatives. GR number 160261, November 10, 2003. Our interpretative canons. The plain meaning rule means when the text is clear, no interpretation is needed. The holistic construction means read the Constitution as a harmonious whole. The original intent means to determine framers' intent through convention records. The structural doctrine means analyze relationships between branches. The living constitution approach means adapts provisions to changing times, that is in the case of Funa versus Agra. GR number 191644, February 19, 2013. The recent cases applicable are in Guevara versus Executive Secretary, GR number 255518. 2023, the Supreme Court ruled that judicial review serves as the ultimate safeguard of constitutional supremacy. It emphasized that when executive issuances infringe upon the separation of powers or exceed statutory authority, the judiciary has the duty, and not merely the power, to nullify such acts to preserve the Constitution as the supreme law of the land. In the case of Funa versus PAGCOR GR number 203221, March 9, 2021. The Supreme Court underscored that constitutional interpretation must always advance transparency, integrity, and accountability in governance. It struck down the concurrent appointment of a PAGCOR chairperson as acting Secretary of Justice for violating the doctrine of incompatibility and the constitutional prohibition on dual office holding. The court ruled that upholding public accountability is a constitutional mandate, emphasizing that no executive convenience can override the principles of checks and balances and faithful execution of the laws. This bar tip is essential because bar examiners frequently test understanding of constitutional supremacy and the limits of executive power. Cite Francisco versus House of Representatives to demonstrate the Supreme Court's authority to strike down unconstitutional acts as a manifestation of judicial review, ensuring that no branch exceeds its authority. Likewise, refer to Arlo versus Aquino III to show how the court checks executive discretion and safeguards the power of use appropriation under the Constitution. Together, these cases illustrate how judicial review operates as the guardian of the Constitution, making them crucial in crafting bar answers on separation of powers, checks and balances, and the supremacy of the Constitution. GR number 209287, July 1, 2014, for the limits of executive power.